Okay, guys, this is take two. I did like forget it, bro. Nah, we're not gonna forget it. I did like a whole like 7 minute video before this, but because I forgot like one of the speaking points, I decided to redo it again. Now that I'm a bit more focused, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do another video talk about a bit more focused topic, and it was just like talk about the similarities on people in a cultural sense, physical sense, as well as in a mental sense. And I was saying how I don't really like it when people say, "Oh, I could never imagine myself doing this. I can't believe a human being did this." Specifically, when talk about not just criminals, but like when talk about other people, like, "Oh, I could never see myself doing this because they did that." But people seem to forget, like, well, all human beings, you could do that. Like they'll say the most heinous act, and they will say, "I could never imagine myself doing that." And me being the controversial person I am, the contrarian, I would say you should. I feel like people shouldn't feel as if they are above or below anything in any sense. You should see yourself in the most depraved and in the most enlightened acts, because guess what? Both of those things are what make us human. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. You should see yourself in the most depraved and the most enlightened acts, because guess what? Those things are what make us human. What I mean by that is, well, I've already essentially said what I mean by that. I'm just asking for people to acknowledge it, because there seems to be like this huge rift in what people think they are, what people actually are in reality. Like people say, I could never see myself as a bad person. You've probably been like a muck to somebody in your life and you don't even know it. And you don't even know it. You're the villain of somebody's story, and you need to realize that. And you're the hero in somebody else's story as well. We have like a dual nature in our personalities. It's never possible to just be one thing. You're always a multiplicity. Always, 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 always. You can never come to me and tell me I'm just one person, because no, you're not. You have many faces. You just shown two of them to me. There's seven others that I'm yet to uncover. Do you get what I'm saying? Bars. Ugh. Anyway, back to the point. I thought this was about to fall. Not even just like in a mental sense are we alike. I think we're also alike in a cultural sense. I was looking at multiple cultures. I study archaeology and anthropology, so obviously I have to like compare and contrast cultures with each other. But obviously I just do that a few times. And I was looking at my culture, my tribe, and I was looking at the phenotypes and thinking, wow, we look very physically similar to a lot of these other tribes, and we look very physically similar to a lot of us, you know. And obviously I had known that before, but like this was like this particular day, which was yesterday, borderline today, there was just like a bit of more focus on it, because I was just like embedded in learning it. And what I realized is that everybody, well, I've realized this before, but I'm just gonna act as if I just realized it. I had a light bulb moment. What I realized is that everybody's like everybody else. All of Africa is the same to me. Honest to God, if somebody says I look like I'm from another country, I have no reason to get offended, because you could probably find my phenotype in any other amount of countries. Do you get what I'm saying? If somebody wants to say a South African looks Ethiopian, you could get away with it. You could get away with it. If you know enough. If you know enough, you can definitely get away with it, because there are so many phenotypes in all of these countries. You can never be limited to the point where you could say, oh no, you don't look like you could ever come from this country. You don't look like you could ever come from this country. I'm talking about every single country, by the way. This goes for North Africa as well. Like if you want to say, oh, you look North African, that could fly. My tribe is even in North Africa as well. Do you get what I'm saying? It's in Algeria, it's in Libya, it's in Tunisia as well. Well, like sparingly in those two, but it's in Algeria for sure. If you want to say I look Algerian, go ahead. Honest to God. But obviously we'll talk about dominant phenotype. So obviously I don't look Algerian as per the dominant phenotype, as per one of the phenotypes, for sure. For sure. Anyway, that's besides the point. I just use that to like talk about how we are all similar, and people should, realize that sooner rather than later. What I also wanted to talk about, don't tell me I forgot it again. Bro, take a hike. Let me think. What I also wanted to talk about, oh, Algeria is right there. Anyway, what I also wanted to talk about was the fact that when people talk about the true self, why is it always something negative? Now stay with me now. So I'm gonna paint a picture. Say you're out with your friends, right? Or a friend of yours. Say you're out with a friend of yours. You're going to, I don't know, you're just out walking in the park, right? You're just out walking in the park. And then abruptly, a little kid comes, kicks him in the shins. You know, he just kicks him in the shins. He laughs, he chuckles it off. You know, like just any other. Oh, a little kid kicks me in the shins. Oh, that's funny. That's kind of funny. Kind of hurt though. Give it like 2 minutes. The kid comes back. He kicks him again in the shins. He laughs it off again. Oh, it's standard. There's nothing much. A kid comes back again, kicks him for the third time, in the shins. Fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, and this carries on until the 10th time. 10th time. And obviously he gets noticeably irate and erratic. And then he starts cursing up a storm towards the kid, calling them all types of broke. Do you get it? Looking for the dad. Where's your mom? Where's your dad? Let me give them a healthy slap. Do you get? Yeah. And then you're looking at your friend thinking, I didn't know you were like this. Now you're showing your true colors. Now stay with me now. That's the point that I want to focus on. That's the point that I want to focus on. Because why is that his true colors? He's had a very reasonable response to a very weird and wacky situation. If a kid kicked me in the shins, I don't know how gracefully I'd handle that situation. Pretty gracefully, I'd say so myself, because I'm very good around kids. But 10 flipping times, let's be real here. That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. 10 flipping times. If I get I should have gotten about the 4th or 3rd time, bro. 10 flip, that's patience of a saint. If he gets erratic, that should be understandable. I don't know why we're painting it as like true colors. Like he's just like at the core, he's just a terrible human being. Why is that now a thing? Like whenever somebody does a heinous act, apparently that's their true self. Like people will always remember the bad thing that somebody has done, but will never remember the good thing, because that's not the true self. That's just like a performance. That's a performance that somebody puts on. Why is that? I find that so weird. Let me speak more on it. I just think, what do I think? Do I think it's a symptom of something? I don't know. I just always get annoyed whenever it happens, because somebody reacts negatively towards something, or somebody does something, you know, out of the ordinary in a negative way. All of a sudden, they're casted out, looked down upon, and called, again, all types of broke. They're literally this. This is his true colors. He can't compose himself. This is who he is at our core. This is who he is when we're not looking. For all you know, this man could be a saint. He could be doing charity runs every single week. He could be going to elderly homes every single weekend. He could be, you know, picking up his nephew every single weekday from school when he doesn't have to. Do you get what I'm saying? But at this one instance, now we reveal his true colors. What the hell has got those good deeds be nothing then? Like what are we talking about? I don't like when people do that. It's just like a huge discounting of everything else that they've done in their life, just to say this is who he is at our core. It's really filthy, you know. It's just like a filthy diss. I hate hearing it. Also, what else do I want to talk about? I can't be asked to make another video. I'm just gonna say it here. I don't like when people get on people for being performative. Not even necessarily for being performative, but just like when they're rebuttal to people like living a life or just doing something that they're passionate about is them being performative. Case in point, there are a few things that I like to do, you know, a few hobbies that I like to dabble in. I'm not going to disclose them just for the sake of not disclosing them. I don't know why. Anyway, there are a few things that I like to do for a few hobbies. A guy will come up to me, not even a guy, but more time is girls, and do it to be like playful and like nice and stuff like that. But honestly, it gets on my nerves, and they say stuff like, "You're actually so performative." I'm chilling, minding my business. One thing about me is that I don't use social media like at all. Well, I use it once a month on the 15th of every month. That's the only day I have social media, and I delete it the very next day. You would have never known that unless I would have told you, right? One time, I'm talking with this girl, right, friend of mine, and she didn't know that I only use social media one day of the month. Obviously, she wouldn't have known because there's no reason to bring it up to her. Do you get what I'm saying? And once she finds out that piece of information, she's like, "You're so performative." I think the performative part was the fact that I only have it for that one day. But I guess she calls me performative for that. And obviously, I know she's joking, but I'm not joking. I still get not noticeably annoyed. I just get like a bug in my head. Cause I'm thinking, why am I performative? Because I've chosen to live my life this way. Why is it like why? Oh, I feel so slow. I'm not speaking as eloquently as I usually do, but it doesn't even matter. I'm just getting the point across. That's all that matters. Anyway, she says, why am I doubting myself? I'm the big boss, bro. They put the in front of my name every single time, bro. I'm a title. Anyway, let me get back to the point. What I was essentially talking about is like I've been called performative for just doing things that are part of my habits. Like I've been doing that no social media thing for about 3 to 4 years now. Like it's been a running theme. Like I haven't implemented this recently. Even if I did, that shouldn't be an issue to you. I don't see why it's an issue where like I'm doing things like better myself. Not even necessarily better myself, but I'm just living my life in a certain type of way. And because of the fact that it can be viewed as like attention seeking, you know, it's not performative. Listen, for something to be attention seeking, you have to shout it to the top of the hills. You have to shout it to the top of the hills. You have to stand on top of the hills and shout to the top of your lungs to the rest of the people. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. Look at me. That's what makes an action performative. If somebody's doing an action in seclusion and just wants to get about in their life, like how is that performative? Like for example, if a guy wants to practice an instrument for however long, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's a party, and like people say, "Oh, look, I play this instrument," and he plays it. He shouldn't be called performative. You guys wouldn't have known he would have played an instrument if he didn't come up and show you. Do you get it? And he wouldn't have come up and showed you until somebody asked. He's not performative. He's living his life. I don't go around saying I have no social media because guess what? That's not everybody's business. That's a personal choice. I don't really think it's anything that remarkable. It's only remarkable in the sense where I have a higher attention span than you lames. Do you get it? Not that any. Shout out to all my social media people, bro. No hate, no hate. Hashtag make peace, not war. Make love, not war. There we go. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep it real. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. I can't be oxyrambled anymore. I really should get into my hobbies. I look tired as hell, beat up, bro. But I'm still sexy. Either way, we're gonna get it going. Get your money up, not your funny up. Actually, get your money and your funny up. Anybody who told you 60 vats couldn't make you laugh is ridiculous. Anyway, peace out. What did I say? Don't like, don't subscribe. Yeah.